There is a sentence that has destroyed more dreams than failure. Please, let me explain. A man who keeps explaining himself slowly hands his peace to strangers. The strongest tree never argues with the wind. The deepest ocean never convinces anyone it is deep. Then why do we spend our lives begging people to understand us? This is the ancient story of a man who lost everything because he couldn't stop explaining himself. Until one unforgettable day changed him forever. Long before great kingdoms rose and fell, there was a prosperous village surrounded by golden fields and rugged hills. Among its people lived a gifted craftsman named Rayan. Everything he built lasted for generations. His wooden doors never cracked. His tables never shook. His bridges survived storms that destroyed others. People traveled from distant villages just to buy his work. But admiration soon became envy. One person whispered, "His wood must be cursed." Another said, "He's cheating somehow." Soon the whispers became louder than the truth. Children repeated the rumors. Neighbors avoided him. Even customers began to doubt him. Every rumor pierced Rayan's heart. So he did what many people do. He tried to explain. He visited homes. He defended every accusation. He answered every lie. He worked harder, not to improve his craft, but to improve other people's opinions. Every night he lay awake wondering, who still believes the lies? Without realizing it, he had become a prisoner of other people's thoughts. One morning, while delivering a beautifully carved door to a wealthy merchant, something happened that would change his life. The merchant looked at the door. Then looked at Rayan. "I've heard enough about you. I don't buy from dishonest men." Before Rayan could answer, the merchant slammed the gate in his face. Rayan stood there, holding the finest work he had ever created. Rejected. Not because of his skill, but because of a rumor. For the first time, he wondered if the truth even mattered. Rayan left the merchant's house with the heavy wooden door resting on his shoulder. The road home felt longer than ever. For the first time in his life, he questioned everything. Maybe I should leave this village. Maybe they're right about me. As the sun began to set, he reached an old stone bridge crossing a fast-moving river. A crowd had gathered. At the center stood a traveler. His clothes were covered in dust from a long journey. A wealthy landowner pointed at him and shouted, "That bag belongs to me. This man stole it." The crowd immediately turned against the traveler. "Thief! Take him to the guards." But something unexpected happened. The traveler said nothing. No excuses. No anger. No desperate attempt to defend himself. He simply stood there, calm, with his eyes fixed on the river. Rayan couldn't understand it. Why isn't he explaining himself? Moments later, a horse came racing across the bridge. A young boy jumped down and shouted, "Father! We found your missing bag. It was left in the market." Silence filled the bridge. Every face turned toward the traveler. The landowner's face burned with shame. Without saying a single word, the traveler picked up his bag and quietly continued his journey. Rayan watched him disappear into the distance. The crowd, who had insulted him only moments before, now admired him. That night, Rayan couldn't sleep. One question echoed through his mind. How can silence be stronger than 1,000 explanations? The next morning, Rayan returned to his workshop. For the first time, he didn't think about the rumors. He simply worked. The sound of his hammer echoed through the village. Hour after hour. Day after day. His hands spoke louder than his words ever had. But the rumors didn't stop. In fact, they became even louder. Some villagers laughed as they passed his workshop. Look at him. He has finally given up explaining. He knows he's guilty. Rayan heard every word. His heart wanted to answer. His lips almost opened. Then he remembered the traveler on the bridge. He took a deep breath. And continued carving. Days turned into weeks. Weeks turned into months. Then one violent night, a terrible storm swept across the valley. The wind ripped roofs from houses. Trees crashed onto roads. Bridges collapsed into the raging river. When the sun finally rose, the village stood in silence. People slowly walked outside to count what remained. One by one, they noticed something strange. Every cheap door had shattered. Every poorly built roof had fallen. But Rayan's work still stood. His doors remained strong. His tables had not moved. Even the wooden bridge he had built years earlier was still standing while newer bridges had been washed away. The same people who had mocked him now stared in disbelief. For the first time, no one asked for an explanation. His work had answered every question. Rayan smiled quietly. He finally understood something that years of arguing had never taught him. Truth does not become stronger because you defend it. It becomes stronger because time reveals it. And sometimes, silence gives truth the time it needs.